Here's a quick video to show you how to engage with three key people areas and conversation areas on nccl.org. Like we mentioned in the navigating video, if you've watched that one, there are, over on this right side of the navigation, a few key areas for members of NCCL to engage with each other online. So we're going to walk through those areas. You'll find those underneath these two icons. I'm logged in already, so I'm seeing some info under this conversation bubble, which is where the forums, the conversation forums reside. Under this person icon is where we'll find other aspects of this social community, in particular, member activity, groups, and member information. So let me start here and walk through, starting with member activity and these other pieces. Now there's another video on accessing and editing your profiles that you can watch there, so we won't do that today. Let me click on member activity. When I go to this member activity section, this is where I'll find sort of a Facebook style feed of activity that has happened on this membership area. Right here, right at the top, is where I can post my own update. I can type whatever I like, and I can choose, usually on my own profile, once I've typed something, to either post it there, or I can post it inside of a public group that I'm part of. I can click post and go from there. There could be other places that you could post that, and it will only show up where you tell it to post. Clicking on my profile will simply post it publicly to the member feed. Now I can look at a feed for all the members, for my groups, or for certain times that I've been mentioned. I can also filter down to see all of the activity or certain types of activity. Things like maybe just friendships, or maybe brand new groups, or my group memberships, things like that. Topics inside of a forum, anything like that. So I can filter down if I'd like to look at specific things. Then when I look at this feed, you'll see a couple things that I've done. I've joined a group. I posted a simple update. I can also then click to comment on those updates. I can mark one as a favorite, or if it's my own comment, there's a button where I can delete that if it's something I didn't want to post or want to get off of there. So as I look down, I'm just seeing some other member activity, some friendships, some profile picture changes, things like that. This is how to engage with this member activity. This could be a great spot to start right when you log in, to start to simply get in a mode of seeing what is going on with the membership. The next thing I'll look down at is groups. So when I click on groups, this is a great way to have smaller conversations with specific groups of people on nccl.org. When I initially click that groups button, it's going to show me a listing of all of the viewable groups. There are three types of groups: public, private, and hidden. Hidden groups won't show up on here, but there are certain things that I can do in this list then. Like, let's take a look down here at one of the private groups, Diocesan Staff Forum. This is a forum for diocesan staff members to connect and talk about best practices and things like that. If you're a diocesan staff member, you could click request membership here, and the moderators of that group then would accept that membership. You'll notice this is marked as a private group with a lot of members. As I look down, there will be some groups that are public. For example, this whole family catechesis group. Instead of saying request membership, I can simply click and I can join that group right then. Once it processes that, it changes there where I can leave it if I don't want to be part of it. And then I could click in there and see what's going on. I'll click inside that group. See what's going on in this specific group. It's got the overall info. It lets you know who the admin is. That's usually the person who created it. I can check the forum in this group, documents that have been shared to this specific group. I can look at a list of members, send invites to others, if I'm either a moderator or it's a public group. I can also click on email options. This is an important one. You can decide what kind of email information you would like. Do I want to not get any emails, Would I like a weekly summary email, something I get every day, just when there's a new topic, or anything that happens? So I can save those settings. So there's an example of one group, a way to interact in one group. When I click on the home feed of this group, this is where there'll be an activity feed, kind of like the other one we just looked at, but for this specific group. We can see who's joined. I can comment on any of these items. I can mark a favorite, things like that. This is where I would simply post an update to the group and ask everyone how it's doing, ask a question, things like that. Now, if I've got something topically specific for this group, I might click on the forum here. The person who creates the group can choose if they would like to create a forum, and from there can be topics inside this forum. So in this case, Paul started a new Fall Learning Center resource about a year ago. And so they could click in here, and you could click in here and join the discussion around this topic. I could also create a new topic. I could give it a title, say generally what this topic is about, give it some tags, which make it all searchable. And folks could come in and start a conversation on that particular topic. So there's a forum for each group if it is made to be, and then topics inside of that forum. If an admin wants to share some documents, they could. So in this case, there aren't documents yet. I can click on all the documents or ones in this specific group. There aren't any in here. From here, I can go create a new document where I can add some information and upload as well. If something's got an attachment like a PDF, or I can simply create a native document right here that is specific to this group. So there's an example of how we work with groups inside of the NCCL online social community. One more thing we'll look at are the members list. So this is an overall list of members. I can start by searching a certain member if I want to find info, or there's a whole huge list of members of this online social community. I can check out the activity going on for the whole members list. And then as I come down here, as I'm looking at this list, I, by the way, can filter by newly registered, alphabetical, or last active. In this case, it's showing the last active folks. And so from here, we can add friends to certain members by that simple button right there. Or once I see someone that I might want to look more in this case, we'll look at your executive director. I can click on her profile now, and I can do a lot of things then from her profile. A friendship request, which I have already added in this case. I can send her a public message that shows in the activity feed, a private message that doesn't. I can look at friends. I can look at documents that she's uploaded and shared publicly, groups that she's a part of, forums that she has contributed to. I can also click on her profile to get some basic information about her. As a member, we're seeing these things that she's listed, what diocese she's part of, the organization that she's part of, what membership type she's part of, her catechetical role. This is all info that you on your own profile need to go in and set, both some basic and some additional info. Now, the other nice thing is when I click on any of these things, it will, within this social community, will show me anyone who has listed NCCL as their organization. And so those are hyperlinks. So people who are on staff in this case may have listed NCCL as their organization, and that can go find anyone else who is part of that. That could be valuable for certain membership types or certain catechetical roles or certain NCCL leadership roles, for example. So there's how we might view and engage with individuals, how we might view and engage with groups, and the overall member list. Now, this all works well if you go in And again, make sure to access and edit your profile. There's another video on that. Thanks for watching.